Good afternoon, morning, or evening. My name is John, and I am a peasant, a lowly plebeian, a resident, a constituent of Perth, Scotland. And I've got a few things I want to get off my chest. So I saw an article written by the fake news rag, the Perthshire Advertiser. It was a puff piece, an interview with John Swinney, the First Minister. And he was hailing the good people of Perth for standing up to racism. Now, Pete Wishart has also done the same thing, and Jim Fairlie. And I dare say Grant Laing, who is the leader of the council, has done so also. Now, here's where I take issue with that. Grant Laing was not at the demonstration this past Saturday. Jim Fairlie and Pete Wishart were there for 10 minutes or so, just so they can say that they were there, get their photo up, and go off on their way. John Swinney, he wasn't there. I know he knows where Perth is. I know that because he came to my church, our church. He came to our church, and I met him. And quite frankly, he seemed like he couldn't get away fast enough and was pretty rude, I would say. Anyway, that's besides the point. So many outlets are claiming that there's only a small fringe racist group of people that do not want the Radisson Blue to be used for the purpose that it's being used for currently. Now, if we take all that and set it aside, as not talk about immigration slash illegal immigration slash asylum seeking, what I want to address is that the mainstream media and these politicians are trying to say that the majority of people in Perth welcome the current use of the Radisson Blue. So does Just Stop Racism. Now, I challenge all of the councillors, members of Scottish Parliament, and Just Stop Racism to a little experiment. I suggest we hold a town hall meeting and you only about immigration and about other aspects of the city. The fact that it's filthy and it's dangerous and run down, and that perhaps the councillors and politicians do not care about us anymore. So a whole host of things. But I challenge these individuals to hold a town hall and for there to be certain requirements. To gain admission to the town hall meeting, you have to bring 2 forms of ID. Just like you do when you get a bank card, or I think even when you get a regular job now. You need to prove that you're a citizen of this country. But more so, what I'm looking to do is prove that you're a citizen of this city. So, your 2 forms of ID, you could imagine one of them needs to have your address on it, and your name, and then another one with your name to prove who you are. And then that means you get entry into the town hall meeting. And then you can give your views. Now that is very, very quickly and unequivocally going to prove who's correct on this side of the argument as to whether the people of Perth, Scotland, want more or the same level of immigration that we are seeing. And then from there, we can extrapolate what our representatives, who make a nice living out of representing us, should be doing. Now, I know that John Swinney and the others, Just Stop Racism, and indeed the fake news media will be heavily against this. Heavily against it. They probably won't even mention it. Because again, I am just but a lowly constituent and essentially a nobody. But if they don't go ahead and do this, I would extrapolate that they know that they will be proven incorrect with the narrative that they've been putting out there, that Perth is and wants to be a sanctuary city. So John Swinney, Grant Laing, Pete Wishart, Jim Fairlie, Just Stop Racism, Perthshire Advertiser, Courier, and whatever other rags are local, I dare say you should get on this. Because if you are indeed correct, you'll prove us wrong very quickly, and that will silence us. But I don't think it's going to go down that way. And I think you're going to bury your head in the sand. Because I think in the same way that not one of you has taken in an asylum seeker or given them a job or given them a grant or funding or however you'd circumvent law to provide them with money, I bet none of you have done it, because you will not put your money where your mouth is. You love a good virtue signal, but when it comes to it, you ain't got the stones to back it up. And I don't think you'll have the stones to back this up. So that is my challenge to you.